What's going on, everyone? So, we are getting a Ready or Not 2. It has already begun filming, as well as we got kind of the title for the upcoming film. So, it's Ready or Not, Here I Come, which I think may end up being very telling, might be a big clue as to what this film is going to be about. I imagine, my guess, again, don't know this, but my guess is Samara Weaving's character, Grace. Maybe she's going down tracking these other families that, dabbled in the dark forces. But regardless, we'll see kind of how they approach this film. I've talked very heavily about how, I do have some level of concern because I did enjoy the first Ready or Not, thought it was great. But it did have a very good, conclusive ending. Right? I thought it had a nice way to kind of wrap up its film. And, you see a lot of times where studios and stuff will try to bring a sequel or force a sequel, and then you kind of end up having the sequel that just kind of misses the mark or kind of takes away from the original or kind of muddies the original. Like, I don't want to see something along those lines. But regardless, I am excited for this upcoming installment. However, beyond the subtitle, beyond the sequel itself, we got a couple actors and actresses that are going to be in this upcoming installment. And the big ones are Sarah Michelle Gellar. That's right, Buffy is going to be in this upcoming Ready or Not 2, which I'm excited for. I'm excited to see Sarah Michelle Gellar. You see her, she's doing a Buffy reprise series. And then also, you have her husband, Freddie Prinze Jr. is doing the I Know What You Did Last Summer sequel. And so, see them back in action, I think is awesome. Elijah Wood. Yes, Elijah Wood is going to be in this. He's no stranger to horror and these weird, crazy films and stuff. So I'm excited to see Elijah Wood. Obviously, he's an excellent actor. He's somebody that can bring a lot to this film. Curious to see what type of role he plays. Kevin Durant and David Cronenberg have been cast in the film alongside Samara Weaving and Catherine Newton. So Catherine Newton, somebody else. I first got familiar with Catherine in Supernatural. I'm a big Supernatural guy. Loved the show Supernatural, but she was in like Paranormal Activity. But also Radio Silence is back and at the helm of this film, and they are known for bringing in and hiring people that they work with. Samara Weaving, for example, right? She's been in most of the projects that Radio Silence has done. Catherine Newton, same thing, right? She was in Abigail with them. Now she's going to be in the upcoming Ready or Not. So I do really like this cast. You got, a kind of star-studded cast with, really diverse actors and actresses. They can really play a role. This leads me to believe, and this is, just me personally, I think that this leads me to believe kind of what I was talking about earlier in this video, that I think what we're going to see is, because the title is Ready or Not, Here I Come, right? So I think that means you're going to see Grace, who is played by Samara Weaving. She's going to go and take on, a new family that maybe is doing something similar to a girl. And maybe that's where Catherine Newton comes in. Maybe her character is the new Grace, right? That gets kind of thrusted in whirlwind into this, family game of Ready or Not, hide and seek, right? Like you better hide, otherwise we're going to take you out type thing. And then, maybe Samara Weaving at some point shows up. I could see something where maybe the movie begins with her kind of just like running through a family, right? Like just taking these families out, moving on to the next one. And then you kind of pick up with, because it kind of seems like Catherine Newton is going to be one of the main actresses. She was one of the first announced for this film after Samara Weaving, of course. So Samara Weaving's coming back. I think that you're going to see, again, this is just my guess. I think you're going to see Samara Weaving as Grace, kind of running through families. And then I think you'll see Catherine Newton's character. She'll kind of be what Grace was in the first film. And then at some point you'll see, Samara Weaving and Catherine's characters meet and come to a head. And, Samara Weaving's character, Grace, ends up saving or helping, or, they kind of team up and take it out. So again, So does that mean like Sarah Michelle Gellar's character, is she like the mom in this, right? Is that something where they, maybe she's like the rich mom in this family? Maybe Elijah Wood's like the rich dad or something like that, right? I mean, he still looks like he's 20, so he could also, play somebody, much younger, maybe he's the uncle or something like that. I'm curious to how far from the original will this film be, right? How far removed from the original will they kind of go in this direction, right? Like, are they going to kind of keep it the same thing? Because you also don't want to have too much repetitiveness, right? You don't want to end up having like where this just feels like we're rewatching the first one all over again. It's just, instead it's just like, Samara Weaving's character is going to show up at some point to help out, which you didn't have in the first one, right? So I do think you want some level of freshness, but again, execution, storytelling, delivery, acting, and just portrayal, like all those things are very important for a film like this. If they do a good job and they give you proper execution and you tell a good convincing story, then I'm fine with the sequel, right? Love the cast. I think the cast that's involved appears to be great. I think you're gonna have some great moments. I think you're gonna have some great sequences. I think if they can kind of continue to find that balance of like comedic versus, horror and having those balance, particularly like the end of Ready or Not, right? Without spoiling it, you had this moment of comedic, like, oh, see, it was just crazy. And okay, here we go. And then all of a sudden, boom, things just start popping off, like literally, right? So, I thought even they did a good job of just riding that line, right? Like you see a lot of other horror films that, the horror comedies or things like that, where it's like, they lean to way or the other and it kind of just doesn't feel right, or it kind of feels like they're trying too hard in one area or the other rather than finding that balance. Thought Ready or Not was a good film at finding that and maintaining that balance. So hopefully that's something that they're able to continue to do. We'll see how it all plays out, and how they're able to approach this film. But excited to see Sarah Michelle Gellar in this film. Glad to see her kind of getting back into the swing of things, particularly in like the horror space and whatnot, right? To see Elijah Wood, who again is no stranger to the horror space and just doing these various films and stuff. So I think that you're going to have a good cast along with hopefully good story, good execution, good delivery, good directing, and radio silence, and hopefully overall a good film. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion. Pass question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? How do you feel? First off, are you excited for this upcoming film? Do you think that they should have made the sequel? Think that they didn't need to make the sequel? You kind of mixed in the middle. What do you think of Sarah Michelle Gellar being in this film? Excited for that? Elijah Wood, are you excited for that? However you feel, whatever your thoughts are, either way, I'd love to hear it. So let me know down in the comments. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me not, so we enjoy these types of videos. Truly appreciate it. Not subscribe to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.